Today I'm going to do a double bill, 2 zombie films. The first one from Jim Jarmusch, Dead Don't Die, and then there's An Apocalypse, a musical zombie film set in Scotland. 2 very different films, 2 very unique takes in the genre. One of the reasons why I'm covering this is because one is neither of them are scary. I mean, I've already said zombie films scare me. These 2 didn't. I don't think it's intentionally scary. I don't think that's what it's really about. It's just they're comedies within the zombie genre. So the zombies are a threat, but they're not really meant to be terrifying you. And it's also they're having a bit of fun with the zombies, but also having respect for the zombies and what the zombies are, and so they're not frightful creatures, but there's a respect for where they came from and what they're about. So they don't go into it in Return of the Living Dead style jokes. There's much more humorous takes on what zombies are, what slow moving zombies are, but how dangerous they can be if need be. The Jarmusch film Dead Don't Die is about a zombie apocalypse that occurs throughout the world, but it's seen from the point of view of this town called Centreville, which is obviously a made up town. It's so made up that they're using the Repo Man logic of not even trying to come up with a funny name, just saying Centreville. The way like Repo Man had jokes about all the different marketing that everyone was marketed as something basic. The same way They Live had the glass where you see everything in advertising was consume, obey, all that stuff. It's that kind of feeling of a dry, sarcastic look at the way life is. So it starts off with Centreville, the basically it's about America, and the Centreville basically means it could be anywhere in America. This one seems to take place near New York, but it could be anywhere. And all the characters are like small town people. They've all got their issues, they've all got their problems. Bill Murray plays the cop who should have retired years ago but hasn't because he's not retired for. So he'd rather just keep going. He knows all the people involved in the town. He can deal with them and fit any problems. Like, he knows all their issues, so it's like he can just wander around, talk to people and get things done. So he's a good sheriff. His sidekick is Adam Driver. You'll probably recognise from Star Wars and Marriage Story and stuff like that. He's done a lot of stuff. He's like the sidekick. He's a bit more like a PC type of person. He drives an eco-friendly car that looks absurd. He's observant, bit impulsive for the youth. Some things that people do annoy him a little bit, but he's fairly underplayed and still decent guy. Chloe Savini plays the other cop in the town who deals with incoming calls. Because it's a small town, there's only 3 cops basically. She deals with incoming calls and is back up in case anything happens, but nothing really happens generally. So those 3 basically run the law enforcement in this small town. They know certain people. Danny Glover plays the store owner. Steve Buscemi is a farmer who's very obnoxious. He wears this red cap, it's kind of a very Trumpian cap. There's another guy who's runs this comic book store within a basically the garage, gas place where you get your petrol store. So you've got all these people, they've all got like jobs, it's fairly lazy. People do what they need to do to survive. There's not very real problems. So it's a very lazy town, it's a very Jarmushy town. I mean, I've only seen a few Jarmusch films, I'm trying to see more. But I mean, I've seen Night on Earth, I've seen Only Lovers Left Alive. And Only Lovers Left Alive is a bit more of a revisionist take on vampires. I mean, it's taking on what vampires have become, which is the existential creatures who use eternal life to question themselves, and takes that and kind of gives it more flesh and more detail. I mean, it's taking something that Anne Rice suggested, but she wasn't good enough for it to actually do properly, and he did it with Only Lovers Left Alive and did character work, had good actors playing it and doing all the details and making it much more lived in. So he took something that was there and created something really unique with that film. In this film, he's much more traditionalist. He's much more into the Romero view of zombies. Zombies are a metaphor for consumerism of like all your bad habits coming back when you just get a hunger but not the brain to stop yourself. It's just this threat that's always going to be there because people used to dead when to walk and their desires are still there. So in this one, they instead of saying asking for brain, they're asking for, which is from Return of the Living Dead, they're saying Chardonnay or whatever their passion was for. So they go to the stores they used to go to all the time. So all the store owners have a bad time because everyone's going to the store they used to buy their sweets at or their supplies at. so it's not a good thing for them. And it's a whole thing. They go to the diner as well to get something to eat, but now because of zombies they eat the people who run the diner. I mean, there's all that stuff going on, and it is pretty much a throwback. I mean, there is a sense that this film is not going to do anything new with the genre, but it's also fond of the genre and it is willing to take the mickey out of it. But it's a fondness for genre when it was like 30, 40 years ago that you would get in the 80s, really. It's 80s inspired and 80s obsessions and like affections from like someone who grew up, who did all this stuff in the 80s, 70s and 80s. Like Tilda Swinton plays this Scottish woman with a samurai sword and sounds like an alien because Scottish people are aliens. It's very kind of Ed Woody kind of thing, which was a kind of big nostalgia thing in the 80s and 70s and 80s. So you've got the flying saucer within a zombie movie. So that kind of creates this idea of this old set of genre rules that are no longer really current but are affectionately brought up and shown to have some relevance to this older world that's slowly dying away. Because this the world that's dying away and people have lost... Everybody there is nostalgic for something in the past. There's not a sense of a great future in this place. The idea of the dead are coming back. It's more of a mood piece of what's going on in the town rather than like something that's going to redefine the genre. It's just like, no, the zombies are a good metaphor here and we can use them for what we're going to do because it's a story about a town that's dying, basically. And you've got all these people wandering through. You've got this Boston place close to the town. Because that's been a lot of places for trouble you've go to. They go to outside the cities into these towns and build these places with government funding. They've happened here in Scotland as well, that way too. So the trouble with the cities come over to the into the countryside, and you've got like people passing through, staying in hotels, and suddenly in the middle of a zombie film. And what's good is none of the characters are very good at fighting zombies. One of the things that annoy me about the modern day films is suddenly people become master zombie killers instantly, and it's like they've watched Evil Dead and didn't realise it was a joke. You know, like they have to be matched, they have to be almost Schwarzenegger levels. And this one, people aren't very good at it. They die. Some people are introduced and then they die off screen, and then you just see their dead bodies and you can just assume what's happened. Like there's this whole subplot of these people are visiting the town. You see the characters developed and then they're killed off screen, and it's wonderful. You see their bodies after that, and it's like just gruesome with all their guts hanging out, and it's like it's really funny. It's darkly funny because that's what it really like, and it just shows you there's no like sentimentality. Just life in a town goes on and people die and about. Even in a small town, there's a lot of stuff happens you don't see. And again, it becomes this idea of a small town dying and the zombies are just there. And it's a nostalgia for the old zombie movies of George Romero where the zombies took over the world and the world still moved on, but there was just the dead wandering through it. That obviously has become a big influence on modern culture, but in this one, this film seems to want to take it back to what it was. These are slow moving zombies. You can outrun them if you want, but there's so many of them that will go get you. And there's just this tone to it I really like. I mean, there's the affection of the 50s movies as well comes through in the development of why the zombies occur. There's jokes about fracking's causing the earth to spin on the side, which creates the zombies to make zombies come out. That's an obviously absurd notion that they do with all these, which they overplay so much in the way that a 50s monster movie would overplay like the nuclear radiation, that it's obviously absurd. They really overplay it in a mocking manner, and of course it was taken seriously because I mean, Adam Driver's character is mocked for his little car and all the rest of it because he's the epitome of the new modern man type of thing. So I mean, it's like obviously they're not taking it too seriously. Yeah, that's an issue, but they're now saying it causes a zombie apocalypse, which is kind of funny and darkly humorous. There's just stuff like that goes on through the film. Steve Buscemi's got the red hat, the kind of Trumpy red hat, but it basically says "Make America White Again" or something like that. But the way it's been worded is so awkward and weird and suggestive of someone who hasn't thought it through properly. And he knows black people in his time with Danny Glover. It's just very awkward and weird, and it's all about the idea that people in life haven't thought anything through. They've just got emotions and reactions, and they haven't got an articulate view of why they're doing things. So none of the characters who you see before the zombies start to attack have any articulate view of who they are and what they're about. And then they become zombies, they're just less articulate and a bit more hungry for flesh, but there's not really any difference. And there's jokes about the idea that Adam Driver, this is not going to end well, it's not going to end well. And eventually asked him why, because I've read the script. And it's obviously taking a mickey with the idea of, you know, the idea that it's a film. But it's also the idea that it's a film about a certain time period in zombie movies where people will die. Everyone's going to die in these films, the Romero films. So he didn't even need to read the script. All he had to do was look at the situation and where he was in this film to know that. So it's one of those weird underplayed films that Dead Don't Die. I think it's really worthwhile seeing. It's a fun movie, but you need your patience. I thought it was very enjoyable. There's a funny song that goes through it that keeps on, which is the soundtrack to the film. They keep on hearing on the radio. And it's a big hit, and it's all about the theme of the film, and it's always overstating them to a kind of comical effect. And it reminds me a lot of the Dark Star, humor in Dark Star, where you've got these sort of country western type songs that are kind of satirical. It's that same feeling of early John Carpenter in this film as well. It's just that kind of nostalgia of this old period of Hollywood genre movies that aren't around anymore, where there was characterization, there was funny little details, but eventually everyone's going to die. You know, it's a nice little throwback film, and it's definitely worth seeing. And in the Apocalypse is much less nostalgic. It's much more about having fun with the zombies, in the same way that Shaun of the Dead went to have fun with the zombies. The zombies are slow moving, they're creatures you can mock and things. So it's obviously the derivative of like the 2000 zombies, but like a comedy version, like Zombieland as well. And of course it's a musical, and you've all these Scottish actors with broad Scottish accents, and it's very rough and ready. Most of the actors that you've never heard of. There's only one that Paul Kaye plays the villain, who's a teacher. And not the teacher, the assistant headmaster, who you'll know from seeing in different stuff. There's a couple of actors you'll know their faces, but most of the pupils are newcomers. They're all kind of a bit rough in their acting skills. Well, most of them. The girl who plays Anna's good, but the rest of them are kind of pretty rough. But that kind of works for the film because the film's meant to be rough. It's a low budget. It's about a zombie apocalypse set within the world of a musical, set in like a suburban area outside Glasgow with these rough Scottish accents, and people are just kind of straight to the point Scottish people, but they break into song when they have an emotional moment. So instead of having a dialogue scene, they have a musical scene, which is very charming and lovely to watch, and it also involves zombies sometimes and killing zombies without a musical number. And it's all quite wonderful. And even the roughness of it all makes it better because you can't really take seriously much the most emotional beats because they're slightly overplayed intentionally, but it means that if an actor's not up to snuff, it becomes part of the joke really, so it's fine. So even when you've one or two actors who you think you could have been better, it becomes part of the atmosphere of the film. I mean, some of the supporting actors are a bit weak, and other ones are more fun. Just depends who. They're just different ones. A few people die you didn't expect to die earlier. You know, some people die early that you don't expect. So there's some nice little shifts in what the expectation for the audience is. But it's all done with charm. It's not particularly witty. The songs aren't particularly brilliant, but they've got a lot of energy to them that really keep you going. And the whole atmosphere of it has energy. Just the camera work, done in a low budget. The camera work's always like, it's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's inventive for a low budget musical zombie film. It's got the energy to know that you have to keep moving the camera to get the emotions going and get everything moving. So there's lots of stuff that really works in the film. There's nothing particularly unique about there's no themes to it. It's just the themes of boy meets girl, boy fancies girl type of thing, and unrequited love, all that stuff, every melodramatic thing you've ever seen in a teen movie is in here, but with zombies, which give it a bit more of a bite, obviously. And it's just, I mean, it's one of those things, I don't want to say that much about the film because it's just a charming little film. No more, no less. There's just nothing to it beyond, it's a fun movie for 90 minutes, 100 minutes, that's all it is. That's all it ever really wants to be. But it knows to get in, get out, you know, and it knows to keep this plot moving and have some funny moments and have some, to keep moving on so you're not doing anything repetitive for too long and keep the pace up. So the full film has a kind of joy to it and a real sense of invention. Even though it's not going to be the top class of zombie films ever, it's one of those ones that are kind of like Zombieland, where it's not the top level, but it's the level below that, and it's still very enjoyable. It's like, it's got its place. It's not like the creme de la creme, but it's in its own little, you know, area of the zombie pantheon that's quite nice to shove on once in a while. Just to have something different. And unlike most zombie films released recently, it's worth seeing. Because there's been so many zombie films, you look at the description and go, nah, I'm not watching that. So Anna and the Apocalypse is a lot of fun. It's definitely worth watching. It's probably an easier watch for most people than The Dead Don't Die. The Dead Don't Die is kind of dry, and the humour is very dry and silly, and it's much more nostalgic and much more, I think it's for older people. Dead Don't Die will probably get its humour more. Anna and the Apocalypse is much more a young person's film, so it's two different audiences for these films, but I think they're both worth seeing. It's just, for both of them, don't go in expecting something amazing, just expect a fun little zombie film. That's all they're going to deliver. Couple of nice jokes, some nice atmosphere, the zombies killing people, that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon with another one. Right, bye for now.